Hello everybody, I'm Nick, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can do the most insane thing and add a new C# feature into the language with just 4 lines of code or 5 lines of code by using C# 14's brand new extension members feature. Now, that feature is fine. We had extension methods, now you can have properties and a bunch of other things, but there's one thing you can have that was added that makes what I'm going to show you today possible. And it's just completely mind-blowing. Now, if you've used things like Elixir or PowerShell or F#, then you would know there's this thing called the pipe operator. The pipe operator conceptually would look something like this. So you would have a value, and then you would pipe down that value into some function. So you would say, take that value over here and multiply it by 2. And then the outcome of that, pipe it down to the next function and add 10 to it. So if it was 5 multiplied by 2 is 10, plus 10 is, this would return 20. This is a great feature because it allows you to basically build this pipeline without having to deal with fluent APIs and sort of very confusing micromanaged way of doing it. If you've used Link, and I'm sure if you've used Link, then you'd know that basically we can achieve the same thing with Link like this, but Link is an entire thing we have built already, which then just change everything to the IA enumerable. Would be amazing if you can do this with anything, and the answer is yes. C# 14 makes that possible. And if you want to make your career progression possible, then you should definitely check out DomeTrain's Black Friday sale. It ends in 3 days, so if you want to get any course, any learning path, or DomeTrain Pro for 40% off, check the link in the description and claim the discount by using code BlackFriday25 at checkout. So, how can we make this? Well, I'm gonna go here and create a brand new class called pipe operator. And I'm going to remove the namespace. I'm going to go here, turn this into a static, and then I'm going to use an extension block, this new feature. Now, this will accept a generic t-type parameter, and it will have a t result. So these are the two generics we're going to play with. I'm going to take t here, and then I'm going to say that this will be a public static t result. So this returns a result, and we're adding an extension on the operator, which is just the pipe. We cannot have that because that isn't really a thing in C#. But this, we can now sort of add an extension to. So we can say the source, and then what we're going to accept is a function of t and then t result. That then can be invoked like this, and that's it. Now you have the feature. Basically 4 lines of code, really 1 line of code. By doing that, I can go and say the following. Let's say, for example, that in this console application, I'm going to get a number as text, which is the first argument of this console application. So I'm going to say the first arg, and traditionally I would say number equals int dot parseInt, and then if I want to console write line, I'll do this. And maybe you can have more operators. Now all I need to do is say number as text, pipe it to the int dot parse, and that will then give you the number. That's it. If I am to run this, and I could just quickly say program arguments, let's just add 1 and just a random number. I'm going to say, then if I run this, as you're going to see in the console, it's going to parse it, convert it, and print it. And this is fully debuggable. So if I go ahead here and I put a breakpoint here and I run it, then you'll see integer this number. That's basically it. If you want to add more operations, let's say I want to then multiply it by 2, you could easily say, in this case, I will have to add this, but you can say, yeah, just multiply it by 2, and then it will be multiplied by 2. And this is just a very simplistic way to do this. You can even do complicated chaining like this, where you can just trim, replace something, split it, then get the words, reverse the words, return them, then join them. And then if you run this, you're going to get the reversed words with all of these rules, which is, I think, really, really cool. Now, the problem with this is it looks nothing like C#, at least idiomatic C#. So it's not something I would put to production because it's just really, really hard for someone that doesn't have that functional experience or functional language experience be able to see this and be like, oh yeah, this makes perfect sense. In my eyes, it does, because it's this really, really nice pipeline that says, do this, then do this, then do this. And you can make the argument to say, okay, why don't you do this, and then this, and then this? That's fine. But then how do you do the rest. You would still end up with something like this. We kind of already have it, but in my opinion, that pipe thing does actually read better. And things like this make it even easier to work with. You would have to use string.join, you would have to use array.reverse. Having this flexibility makes it such a cool feature. I'm not saying go put this in production, by no means, but what I am saying is the ability to have something like this with operators and add those extensions can fundamentally change the way we write C# and end up with something that maybe isn't for your company, but it is for you. And I really want to know what you think down in the comments. What else can you do with this? What other operator maybe you can add an extension to? And how far can you take it? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Well, that's all I had for you for this video. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, keep coding.